everyone, it's me, James. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Philly Sports and Events. So last week, it was the Dallas Sox week. And the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Dallas 34-6. And that just proved that even though without the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott, he was injured. And that just proved their backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, it's not good enough to go against the Philadelphia Eagles defense. So that was a great win because in the past, the last 6 Eagles and the Cowboys game that was played in Dallas, that Eagles had lost all 6 games. So this time they won, and it was great. And Dallas really sucks. So in the last week's show, I said I was going to look into the incidents of Sixers star player Joel Embiid and also the retired Eagles player Jason Kelce's altercation or outburst with the reporter, and in Jason Kelce's case, it was a fan at the Penn State football event. So the situation is very complicated, and I did look into it, and now I have a much better understanding of what happened, what took place. So I'm going to talk about that. So in the news report about Joel Embiid's altercation with the Philadelphia Inquirer's sports columnist, the news has the recent altercation between Philadelphia Sixers star Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia Inquirer's columnist Marcus Hayes has led to a discussion around the media and athletes. Joel Embiid was irate after Hayes criticized the superstar's perceived lack of work ethic, with the columnist invoking the name of the center's dead brother and his young son in the piece. That led to last Saturday night when Joel Embiid confronted Hayes, shoveling him in the locker room, saying, "The next time you bring up my dead brother and my son again, you're going to see what I'm going to do to you, and I'm going to have to ... live with the consequences." Joel Embiid continued with several instances of profanity. Hayes offered an apology, which Joel Embiid did not want. That's not the fucking first time, Embiid said. And Joel Embiid later said that he doesn't care what reporters say, but you do, Hayes answered. Joel Embiid appeared to raise his voice at that point, and not long afterwards pushed Hayes on the shoulder while the team's public relations chief got between them. Another team official moved Tyrese Maxey's interview to the hallway outside of the locker room to try to clear the reporters from the locker room. At the time, a team security person asked reporters not to report on what had happened. Joel Embiid yelled over the security guard. They can do whatever they want. Embiid said, I don't give a shit. Okay, so that was the incident that happened between Joel Embiid push and shoveling a Philadelphia Inquirer's columnist Marcus Hayes. So what I get out of this whole thing was that first of all, Philadelphia Inquirer is a reputable news paper, right? Back in the days, we call newspaper. Nowadays, they're online. So it's a reputable news agency. And they often dig deep into a story. And they do a lot investigating reports, dig into the story and find out what happened, and and report it to its readers. It's not just any like tabloids newspaper and asking for trouble or make up any story. So Philadelphia Inquirer, it's not a fake newspaper. And I think what Marcus Hayes is trying to say is that Joel Embiid is always injured and he misses a lot of games. And we all know that, for the Sixers fans in Philadelphia, we all know that. Every time it comes to the playoff game and Joel Embiid is injured, and the fans are not happy about it either. So the news reporting kind of reflects the reality of what is going on with the Sixers and Joel Embiid, and and about all his injuries and missing a lot of games because of the injuries. Uh, from what I can remember, just in the past few years, Joel had the face injury, face bone was fractured, and he had to wear that phantom mask, and also his knees and ankles. There's always a lot of injury. It seems like every time he falls down, during the game, and he's injured. So there's a lot of things involved with Joel Embiid being injured all the time. And then there's a lot more involved in this story and the reporting, and leads to the incident between Joel and Marcus Hayes. There's some things. Well, actually, I'm gonna go on about some more history of what had happened. So recently, before this incident that happened, and Sixers, the team was fined $100,000 by the league for them not being truthful with what happened to Joel, because he missed the first 5 games. And Sixers say Joel is not injured, but the league found out, and it's pretty much what all the fans suspected. During the off season, Joel played last summer, right? This year, 2024, just a few months ago in the summertime, Joel played in the Olympic Games, representing the United States, which is a good thing. But he seems to had a knee injury or some kind of injury resulting from winning the gold medal and playing the Olympic team for the United States. And then a few months later, now October and then November, and the NBA's regular season started, and Joel Embiid was not playing the first few games, and everybody wants to know why. But Sixers reported uh, that Joel is not injured, um, and I think involved the Sixers head coach Nick Nurse, which he seemed to be a great coach when he was coaching the Toronto Raptors, led them to the championship, the NBA championship. But he lied, right? They lied to the media and to the fans and to the world about Joel Embiid's condition. So the league found out that Joel was injured. He sustained knee injuries, most likely from the Olympic Games. So the league fined the team $100,000, which is no big deal for the team because they make a lot of money. But the whole thing is that the NBA rating has been down, and the league's not happy about it because they need those stars players to play, and they can't just have a player not playing. Meanwhile, the fans are not happy either because a lot season ticket holder, they pay for the season ticket and they want to see Joel. They want to see the basketball superstar playing. And then they go to the first few games, they're not playing. So the season ticket holders and other people that just bought tickets to see the Sixers game, they feel like they're being cheated. So they're demanding a refund. They want their money back. So it just costs the team and the league a lot of problems when Joel Embiid and other players that are in the NBA are not playing. So it causes problems. It, so it's not just that Marcus Hayes has nothing else better to do and decide to put out a report uh, and attacking Joel Embiid's personal life or his brother, his son, or I don't think it was anything like that. And the reason Marcus Hayes even mentioned Joel Embiid's family members in that article, it was because when Joel was first signed with the Sixers, and he's at that time, his brother back in the country of Macron, where they come from, and he was involved in a car accident. Joel's brother was hit by a car and he died, which is unfortunate. So Joel named his son, his newly born son, after his brother, and he told the fans that he was going to dedicate his career uh, to his brother. So that means a lot. I know it means a lot to him. he, you know, he wanted to be a good player and he wanted to play hard, and he's going to dedicate to a, a great future and being a good basketball player in memory of his brother. So that's what Joel said. And so Marcus Hayes used that as a reasoning and questioning why is Joel Embiid always seems to be injured and not interested in playing basketball. Because Joel missed a lot of the regular season games and some of the playoff games. So there's a reason for the reporter to point that out and ask those questions. And it's not, the point I'm trying to make is that it's not the reporter has anything against Joel Embiid and try to be vicious and attack Joel Embiid personally, I don't think it's anything like that. And the problem I'm having with a lot of the sports show and reportings on the YouTube and on the internet is that, you know, people, YouTubers would say that under no condition the reporter should attack or talk about an athlete's family. So they make it sound like Marcus Hayes dragged Joel Embiid's family into his not playing. But that it's not the way I look at this. That it's not completely true because Joel Embiid said he's going to play and he's going to play good and for his dead brother. But then he didn't do what he said he was going to do. He's always injured and he's missing a lot of games. And the fans pay for the ticket to go to the Sixers game. They want to see Joel Embiid play. And when they don't see him for 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, and they get angry and then they want their money back. So it causes problems. And that's why Marcus Hayes had to write this article at the first place. That's what I think. So instead of just going along with like all the other YouTubers or internet reporting about, oh yeah, the reporter shouldn't have done that and it's both of the athletes and the reporter's fault. Joel Embiid shouldn't have, pushed the reporter or whatever. I'm just digging a little more deep into it and put a little more thoughts into it. And also with my personal experience about the Sixers is, it is a weird organization because for a news reporter's event in the locker room or news conference, the news reporters goes there to gather information from the Sixers and then report to the public. And that's how the public find out what's going on. And that's the same as with everything else, how it works in this country, right? When the president of the United States or anybody, the police chief in the town, when they have something to say, they hold a news conference. And the reporters goes there and gather information. And then the news media pass the information on to the public. Because there's no way for, say, 10,000 fans that want to know what's going on with Joel. And there's no way for them to hold an event for all the fans go there. So that's what news reporting and journalism, it's all about. The reporter gathers information and pass on to the public in its outlet, whether it's a newspaper, internet, TV news. So I just think it's really weird, right? The Sixers invite the reporters to its facility for some kind of news conference and interview, and then Joel took this opportunity to attack a reporter. It's almost like, like when the reporter goes to a war zone to report what is going on there. And ethically, and I think it's also protected by the rules of United Nations, right? That's why you see the report on the back and in the front on the bulletproof vest. It says media or it says news. So they're neutral. And neither side of the fighting sides should attack the media. Sometimes they do, like those terrorists, they do. And that's unethical, right? I'm talking about the Taliban. They do, and that's why nobody likes them. So when the reporter goes to the Sixers locker room for a news gathering event, and it's also wrong for anybody that works for the Sixers, the player or its representatives, to attack the reporter physically. It's no different than a reporter or a journalist being attacked in the war zone or under any circumstances or situation. it's just weird. You know, people do weird things. I mean, of course, you say, "Oh, I can attack anybody I want," but it's just something that should have never had happened. Uh, I mean, of course, you and me, we know if you know if Joel has beef with somebody, with some Marcus Hayes, he can approach him and talk to him about it, right? Without all that pushing and shuffling, he can just talk to him quietly about outside the locker room while Marcus Hayes was there at the Sixers facility. But Joel decided to take a different approach. And that's what went wrong. And I was saying about my experience with the Sixers, they are a little bit weird because it was only couple of weeks ago, and I'm not gonna, mention any names or or say where it is, but I went to an event, and it's in Philadelphia, and Sixers players was there. And when I go out, because I do my YouTube show, so when I go out, I videotape everything, and then I put on my show. And I was making a video of and Sixers a current Sixers player leaving the event on the street of Philadelphia, and because he had a very interesting vehicle that he's driving. A lot of those players, they got nice cars or trucks and vehicles from the car dealers that are sponsoring the team, or they the player themselves, they do those TV advertisement for the car dealers. So maybe they get a discount, or they get a free car, or they get whatever they want. So it was a very interesting car, and that was my motivation to make that video. So all I did was make a video of the player leaving in his vehicle, and then I was approached by the Sixers security guard that was with the player, and he was nice about it. He didn't yell at me or anything. He was just telling me that uh, they don't want people. I think he meant the public to know, what kind of car the player is driving. So I say, I ensured the Sixers security that I'm a fan of Sixers, and if they don't want me to show that video of the player getting that car and driving away, things like that, I wouldn't put on my YouTube show. And I told him I wouldn't, and I didn't. But it's just kind of weird because anybody has the right to videotape anything in public. And then if you want to put on your Facebook, social media, or you want to put on YouTube or sell your footage, that's the person that made the video, produced the video. That's his or her business. And it was just really weird. I was approached by a Sixers security guard or personnel, and they act like they're protecting the player, and I'm not. I was asked like not to show the video of the player's car, and they shouldn't have not even approached me. So that just gives me a weird vibe. And then I found out about how Sixers lied about Joel's injury, and they were fined $100,000 by the league. And then a few days later, it came to light about Joel Embiid's altercation with the Philadelphia Inquirer's reporter Marcus Hayes, all that fighting, and then especially the part that really bothered me was about the Sixers security. Asked the reporters that was on site not to report the incident. Of course, this kind of incident at this magnitude and involves one of the Philadelphia's reporter is going to get out and it's going to leak. So it was just really weird that, again, the Sixers is like trying to silence people, the media and the public, like not talking about what they did wrong. And meanwhile, they lie. The Sixers lie to the public, right? And then they do things wrong. Then they don't want the people to know. If you don't want a bad publicity, then don't do anything wrong. It's one of the NBA team, and it's just really bizarre what the Sixers are doing. They they don't have to do any of that stuff, and Joel Embiid don't have to attack anybody. After all, it is, in the United States, we all know it is a free country. We're protected by the First Amendment, freedom of speech. That's why this country is great. That's why we have this news media that can gather news and freely gathering news and reporting the news how they want to. Right? We all know, according to Donald Trump, CNN, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, they're all fake news. And that's what Trump says. Then fine. That's what Trump claims, right? Donald Trump believes all those news agencies, but Fox News, are fake news. But then those news agencies, they report the way they want to, right? Because if their rating drops, and then they will change their method or their ways of reporting the news. If it works for them, it makes them money. After all this, the NBA and the sports teams, news agencies, TV stations, they're all businesses, right? They're all business. Everybody makes money. Joel Embiid playing basketball makes money. And everybody trying to make money. So if it doesn't work for them, they, just say if a news agency reports fake news, it doesn't work for them, and then they will change their ways. So they can do whatever they want. They own the TV station, they own the newspaper, they report how they want it, even though they're supposed to be unbiased, but it's not like that anymore with the news media. They're all biased. So I stopped watching TV and I stopped watching news a long time ago. Sometimes the only time I watch TV is to, I streaming now. The cable TV is too expensive, so with the streaming TV platform like Amazon Prime, it's good for Thursday Night Football, and then other movie channels like HBO Plus or Netflix, even Disney Plus. It's good for movies. And then, so if I want to see a movie, and I would go on one of those streaming channel that I pay for to, find the movie that I want to watch. Or most of the time I just watch YouTube because I can pick and choose whatever I wanted to watch on YouTube. And if I don't like it, I can turn it off and move on to the next, the next show. So I don't really watch TV anymore because I don't believe what they are saying on there. It's all biased. So, as I was saying, right, we have freedom of speech, and that's why this country is great. So why is Sixers injecting all those censorship and asking the reporter not to report this and ask me not to show the player's car? All that stuff is weird because who cares? Who cares what player drives what car? He drives down the street, he gets out, he gets in. People see it. I don't need to. I don't have to. Nobody watches my show, right? I got like, during the off football season, I get like maybe like 10, 15 views of my show. And during the season, if I'm lucky, I get like 75 people watching my show on YouTube each week. And sometimes drop to like 35, 45 people watching my show. I don't, I don't really care. I just put it out there, right? If you have an interest in my show, you watch it. And I don't even really promote that much because, I don't know how. So I don't promote my show that much. So like who cares? It's not like hundreds of thousand people gonna watch my show and find out what the Sixers player drives. So like it's just really weird that they don't want anybody to know what they do, what they're up to. Meanwhile, all this stuff, it's out in the public, right? People have eyes; they can see for themselves. So that's pretty much I have to say about the incident of JRMB and the news reporter. But I do want to add this. Uh, I learned a while ago, from some of the sports news reporting, and I agree. Though a lot of those athletes are really tall, and being really tall or being really short, like a midget, short, or being really tall, it is a abnormality. It's not normal because if you're too tall and you're going to have problems. I have seen tall people bump their head into the door frame when they're walking because most people are probably like, I don't know what the average height is, but I'm like 5'5", so I would say most people are within a range of being, you know, maybe around between 5 and 5'8" uh, height. So if you're too short, right, I can imagine being a short person, and then you can't really see, like the taller people, normal people do. So that kind of give you, the shorter people and this advantage, and also the reason they're, for some of the short people, they were born that way because there was problem with how the embryo was developed, during pregnancy, right? Missing a pair of genes or something. Uh, so something's not right about that. And for being too tall, uh, what happens is it's funny how people call those tall people stretch, and yet their body is stretched out, the bones and muscles, everything's stretched out. So being too tall, and then with the Earth gravity, and it's probably a lot easier because it's not normal, right? Or everybody will be really tall and be the same height. And if you're too tall, it's hard for you to probably keep balance. And if tall people fall down, uh, it's probably easier for them to fall down and hurt themselves because they're just too tall, right? It's not supposed to be that way. The reason we have an average height and most people are within that range it has to do with the Earth's, the gravity and everything. That's why the astronauts, right, like us human, when we go to the moon, and the astronauts, even with all that heavy equipment, the spacesuit, and they're supposed to. I mean, they're still able to hop really high and make long leaps on the moon because the moon's gravity is a lot less than on Earth, and the same as the theory, of the comic, Superman. He's from another planet that has much heavier gravity, and he came to Earth and has a lot less gravity, so he can jump really high and he can fly here. But they're flawed, to that story. It's only a comic book because if he was from another planet that has a heavier gravity, and then their body will probably be a lot uh, their body will probably be, I would think, a lot shorter because this way would be easier for them to move, even though they might be more muscular. And if you go to a planet that has less gravity, right? Say if there were some kind of being or people that are native to the moon, and they wouldn't be able to jump like the human Earth people go to the moon and jump really high, because it will be balanced. They will be able to just move like how we move on Earth with that low gravity, and they will probably have a lot less muscles because it requires less muscles and power for them to move their legs and move their arms around. So that's probably why those gray aliens, right, you see from the UFO incidents and stuff like that, their arms and legs are really skinny and almost looks like like insect, like bugs, because they don't need that much power, that much muscle to move themselves around. So on Earth, there is an average height for human, and when you're too tall or too short, it's gonna cause hazard and and health problems. So that is probably why Joel Embiid injures himself all the time, because he is super tall. But there's nothing anybody can do about that. Uh, the other thing is we worship tall people like Joel Embiid, right? He can play basketball, he can reach the basket, and we think tall people are great. And then we call short people midgets, and nobody wants to be bothered with them. And that's just kind of weird, because either way, too tall or too short is abnormality. It's not normal. And so if the short people have to, because we think there's something wrong with their body, and there is, and then they should be playing the special Olympics or special sports. And then people are too tall. Yes, there's something wrong with that too. And why are they not special? So there are a lot of questions about, you know, things like that, and it isn't fair, right? Joel Embiid's making big money, and meanwhile, short people, they probably can't even get a job because they're too short. It's hard for them to reach the counter or even reach the sink in the bathroom. But tall people get all the advantages. But that's just the way it is. A lot of things just the way it is. So we're just gonna leave that alone. Uh, and now the next subject is Jason Kelsey, the just retired center from Philadelphia Eagles, and he is very, very popular. Uh, while he was playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, because he was a great player, and now he retired because he feels like it's time for him to retire. So he retired, and right after the retirement, I remember last year he went on to the tailgate parties, and he went to his brother Travis Kelsey plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. So he goes to the game there, and he's always out there partying. And I think that actually helped him a lot because it he present himself as somebody that's still active, even though he's not playing football for the NFL anymore. But he's very active, and he's out there, and he's outgoing. He's drinking with all the fans, and he's friendly to the people. So he created a positive image for himself. So this season, ESPN hired him as one of the the game reporter for Monday Night Football, and he got a lot of endorsements from different companies uh, to do their TV commercials, like Campbell Soup and all that stuff. And so a lot other fans say he probably makes more money now than when he was playing, and he doesn't have to play for, put his body uh, to the work and playing football every Sunday. And it is true. He's making a lot of money now because he got all this TV commercials and ESPN uh, game football game reporting. So he's doing good, right? He's doing good, and he's known of being friendly to the fans, to the Philadelphia Eagles fans and stuff like that. So, anyways, what happened to him was supposedly he went to the a Penn State football game, and he was there representing I don't know, some company or something, or maybe he did it for Penn State. He was supposed to be the participants of a football kick contest, and that's why he was there for the Penn State football game. And then one of the fans, I don't even know if he is a Jason Kelce or Philadelphia Eagles fan, and he was recording while Jason Kelce walked by him, and then he was saying things to Jason Kelce about Jason's brother Travis Kelce, uh, and in the news they say the guy was shouting out homophobic slur to Jason Kelce about Jason's brother, and then Jason got mad and grabbed the guy's phone and smashed it on the floor or on the ground and broke the phone and things like that. So that's pretty much of what happened. But now I'm going to read some of the news report that I gathered. Police investigating Jason Kelce's viral altercation with Penn State fan. The fallout from Jason Kelce's phone incident isn't over yet. After the NFL alumni smashed a heckler's phone, Penn State police are considering the investigation into the altercation ongoing. In the crime log from November 2nd, one entry reads that an officer observed a visitor damaging personal property. It lists the potential offenses as criminal mischief and disorderly conduct. A public information officer for the department confirmed to the Associated Press that the entry was in reference to the Jason Kelce incident. The officer noted that the investigation is ongoing. Video of the shocking incident went viral over the weekend. It showed the former Philadelphia Eagles player walking through a crowd of Penn State fans ahead of school's football game against Ohio State. At one point, a Penn State fan got Kelce's attention by yelling, "Kelce, how's it feel that your brother is a faggot for dating Taylor Swift?" Kelce did not take it kindly to the remark about Travis Kelce's relationship with the pop star. He stormed over to the heckler, tore the phone out of his hands, and threw it on the ground before walking away. Jason Kelce's apology. So Kelce apologized for his reaction to the homophobic slur during the Monday Night Football coverage. And Kelsey says in his apology, I think everyone has seen on social media what happened this week. Listen, I'm not happy with everything that took place, he said. I'm not proud of it. In a heat moment, I choose to greet hate with hate. And I just don't think that's a productive thing. I really don't, Kelsey continues. I don't think it leads to discourse, and it's the right way to go about things. In that moment, I fall down to a level that I shouldn't have. Okay, so that's the news report. And it pretty much tells you everything exactly how it happened. So I have some questions. My question is, this person that was shouting out the homophobic slur, uh, is he? The report only mentioned that he's a Penn State fan, but out there in that part of Pennsylvania, lots NFL fans are actually uh, Steelers fans, right? I'm not talking about college football being a Penn State fan. I'm talking about NFL because Jason Kelsey is an NFL player or former NFL player that appear at this college football game. So a lot of those people are Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So there's no report mentioning, or we're not sure. That's why I have question: is this person and Pittsburgh Steelers fan, or is he an Eagles fan, or he's not fan of any NFL teams, or he's fan of another NFL teams? We don't know that, right? So under the circumstances, we don't know who this heckler is a fan of. So I can only assume maybe this heckler is not a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and he didn't care about what he say to Jason Kelsey, because just imagine, right? Like if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan and you saw and just retired or current player of another team. It could be the New York Giants. It could be the Dallas Cowboys. It could be Washington Commanders, and attending an event that you're at and you don't care about that team and you don't care about the person's playing for that team. So you might be less care. You know, you of course you will be more careless, and you will say things to them, and because you don't care. So that might have a factor in what the heckler was saying to Jason Kelsey, because he just want to aggravate him, and the heckler might not care about Jason Kelsey or care about the Philadelphia Eagles. And now the heckler said whatever he says, right? Maybe trying to make a short video and post on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. But Jason Kelsey, he's protective of his brother. So his reaction was he immediately grabbed the guy's phone and smashed it. But Jason Kelsey gets a lot of endorsement because in the video I can see he's carrying a case of garage beer, which he's representing that garage beer company. In other pictures and videos, Jason Kelsey's talking about things in his garage at his home, and you can clearly see there's garage beer's logo on his fridge, in the refrigerator, and also on the wall. So he's representing a lot of different companies. And at the time, he was carrying a case of garage beer from Philadelphia. and he's attending an event at the Penn State University. So I don't know how did Jason get himself into that mess at the first place. I can see if he's attending a football event like Temple University or somewhere in Philadelphia, because it's safe to say they're all Eagles fans here, right? Because if somebody is a Cowboys fan living in Philadelphia, they wouldn't dare to go to an Eagles event like that in Philadelphia. But he's in he's in the enemy and outside territory to attending an event to kick the football, and I don't even think he should have participated in that event. That's completely outside of the Philadelphia area, because he don't know what he's getting himself into. He don't know what kind of people he's going to meet. And it is funny how they just walked him through the crowd into the stadium. Uh, they should have him drive his car, or if he has a limo, they should have the driver drove in the back of the stadium, like into a private entrance, or somewhere that's closest to the yard where they were kicking the football. So they had him to walk through an unknown crowd, and so a lot of those things are contributing to what happened. Uh, Again, a lot of reportings, people, YouTubers on the YouTube says, oh, it's not right. The guy attacked Jason Kelsey or his brother with a homophobic slur. And it's funny how those people the YouTubers don't even tell you what really was said, right? Everybody says homophobic slur. That's why I wasn't clear on last week when I first heard about the news. I didn't know what was said until I looked into it, right? Just, like, they should, on the YouTube, they should just, or social media, they should just tell you what was said, so you would understand, the magnitude of why Jason Kelsey reacted the way he acted. In this case, which is no big deal, because now we know from this report that the heckler just called Jason Kelsey's brother a fag for dating Taylor Swift. And that's no big deal, because I call people fag all the time. Everybody does, not just me. So I don't feel bad about it. Like telling you guys that, I call people fag all the time. And it's just a slur. It really isn't, that harsh of a homophobic slur, I don't think. I mean, it's different if I know somebody is gay and then I go up to that person's face and calling him or her a fag. But, I call people a fag just because they're corny, right? And we all do that. Just be honest. Like, I have nothing. I'm not saying this because I'm against people being gay, or somebody's homosexual. It's nothing like that. It's just a slur that we use. And that's all, So don't get me wrong. Don't say, don't go around and say James, calls people fags. No. If, one of my friend did something really corny, and I would say he's a fag. And that's all, right? So it's not that serious. So I don't see, even if Jason Kelsey is very protective of his brother, and I mean, his brother is also an NFL player, and he can, Travis Kelsey can handle himself. He doesn't really need Jason Kelsey's protection like that. So the other YouTubers would say, oh, Jason Kelsey shouldn't have grabbed phone. Of course, he shouldn't have grabbed anybody's phone or touch anyone. Just walk by. Just walk by. Who cares, right? And that's really dumb on Jason Kelsey's part. Not that I don't like Jason Kelsey. I'm a big Eagles fan, but I'm just being truthful and being honest. Right? Any Eagles player did that. It's dumb, especially for Jason Kelsey. Now he's not playing the football anymore, and he's relying on all this endorsements. He's got the garage beer. He's advertising right in his hand and doing things like this, and that is the exact same reason why Jason Kelsey decide and is probably told by his publicist or. I'm sure he's pretty smart. He knows he owed the public an apology for what he did because he sets really bad examples for all the kids and young people just grab people's phone and smash it. So that's why he had to make that apology on the TV during the Monday night football that he was reporting. So that's it. That's all there is to it. I just wanted to get to the bottom of what happened with Sixers and Joel Embiid and the incident that took place in the locker room. And I just want to get to the bottom and talk about what happened with what Jason Kelsey did at the Penn State's game, right? You can be crazy, it's fine. I see a lot of videos of Jason Kelsey, drinking and taking his shirt off at the football game and partying at the tailgate parties. It's all good, but you really can. Once again, in this country, it's a free country, right? You can say whatever you want to say. It's protected by the freedom of speech, but you cannot touch or attack anyone. That's assault, that it's against the law. You just cannot do that. And as we see in this Jason Kelsey's police report, that it's criminal mischief. So there it is against the law, and there's something wrong with he did. So maybe he need anger management, right? And that might help him, but I'm sure he don't want to piss off his sponsors and he don't want to get fired from Monday Night Football. So I'm sure he likes money. So I'm sure he'll tune down a bit. So that's all I have to say about all that stuff that was going on. I just want to, you guys to have a better understanding of of those incidents, right, that took place with the athletes instead of just have somebody read off the same report I read off and tell you, oh, they're both wrong on the YouTube, right? And I'm sure you guys, my audience, you're intelligent and your conclusion's probably similar or the same as my conclusion because this is all wrong. So anyways, now I'm going to get to the events of the week. So November 4th, once again, I went to Chicken Pete's. Monday night, went to Chicken Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey for the All-Pro Philly show. And this time, they featured the Eagles player, Asir Rogers. And when I got there, because every week when they do the show, they have a camera set up and the lighting was really bright for the video recording, and so they can put the show on the YouTube. But last week when I went, there was no video camera there, so it was dark. You can barely see any of the uh, the the show host, the ball player, and Dave Spadaro. You can't hardly see anyone's face. It was all dark on the raised platform dining area in at Chickies. So there wasn't much going on there, and there were a few fans there to meet Rogers and getting his autographs and take picture with him at the end. I have met Asir Rogers a few months ago at an event in Newtown, Pennsylvania. So I already got his autographs, and I did not really need him. So I'm going to show you some of the pictures that I already got from him. And this is the picture from the event in Newtown, Pennsylvania. He autographed, and it was some type of real estate company that was hosting the event. So that's Monday night. Everything was good. I was a little bit scared because I did not see the video camera there, and I thought maybe they are going to cancel the show for whatever reason, because this show, it's, even though it's on some of the Fox, the Gambler radio station, which I never even tune into because I'm not sure what channel it is on. It's not a very popular radio station. I think it is, the show is on the air, but it's more like a podcast type thing. That's why they record the show, and they show the show on iHeartRadio or on the streaming on the internet at some of the Fox related channels. So, you know, whether it's radio station or sports shows. So I was afraid if the show was going to be canceled, but the good thing is it isn't. And then the next event was the Dallas Sox game, which everybody, all the Eagles fans, are excited about. It was on Sunday, November 10th. It was supposed to be a parking lot takeover, an Eagles game watch party. It's at the State Street Pub in Media, Pennsylvania. But on that Sunday, game day, the game is played in Dallas. But here in Philadelphia, we have not had rain here. It's a record. We have not had rain for like about 50 days now. About 50 days, we have not had any significant measurable rain. So there's a drought going on here. But on that day, the weather forecast says there was supposed to be raining later that day, and the weather's getting a little bit cold here now, right? In the nighttime, it's like 30, 35, 45 degrees, and during the day, it's like 50, 60 degrees. It depends. So the weather's getting cold. So the weather wasn't supposed to be great that day, and they moved the restaurant decided to move the event indoor, and it was nice. I never been inside of that restaurant. When I attended another Flyers event a few months ago, we were outside on the street of that restaurant, but not inside. And inside is nice. It's not a very big place, but they did have a bar, and they have a kitchen, and then they have dining area, which is a little bit cramped, and then they have a little stage for the DJ. And this event was in conjunction with this, I guess, like event promotion companies called Boombox. So the advertisement says, you know, I only pay $15 for it, right? That's an early bird ticket. And the ticket was a regular ticket was $20 and $40 for the VIP tickets. So the regular ticket, you get to go to the event, and you get your first Miller Lite. I'm going to show you as I go. You get your first Miller Lite like this. It was nice. I thought they were just going to give you a 12-ounce can of Miller Lite, but they actually give you an aluminum bottle of Miller Lite for free. And then the event was sponsored by Seattle City Spiked Iced Tea. So it says while supply lasts, but they got so much this Seattle Spiked Iced Tea. So they were giving them out to everybody. And that's what those iced tea looks like. And like this one's a beer. It's a malt liquor beverage. And this one, it's It's made with vodka, black tea, and raspberry and lemon. It's a raspberry flavored Seattle City spiked iced tea. And Seattle City, it's near Wildwood. It's in New Jersey. So every time I hear about Seattle City spiked iced tea, right, it's getting pretty popular around here in the Philadelphia area, and it tastes pretty good. Uh, and I thought it was from Seattle City in New Jersey. But then when I read the back of the can, it's really weird. It says brewed and packaged by Bold Birds Brewing Company, Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania. So there is a place called Jersey Shore, but not in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania. So they got unlimited. At this point, it's safe to say unlimited Seattle City iced tea. And then they say they talk about the free giveaways, and since it's also sponsored by Miller Lite, so I did get some Miller Lite koozies. Kelly Green and the more updated version of the Philadelphia Eagle. Miller Lite bottle opener, keychain. Don't drink and drive. And CIL spiked iced tea hat. I have a red one somewhere from the tailgate party, the C6 tailgate for the Eagles in the parking lot. And last time I got a red one. This time I got a nice blue one. And also there's all you can eat buffet, and they did. They put out a lot of food and a lot of good food. They had chicken strip and pretzels. Chicken wings are my favorite. They have buffalo wings and French fries. And then there were some other, you know, sports bar food for the tailgate or game day food, and it was great. So basically, I paid $15 all you can eat and drink. They had a DJ there playing music, and during the football game, the DJ would come on playing the music during the commercial break. And that's when they did some of the raffle drawing for prizes, and they had Philadelphia Eagles player autographed footballs, and they had Eagles player autographed jersey, and then they also had other Miller Lite and CIL spiked iced tea T-shirt and the boombox T-shirt, other things they were raffling off. I did not win anything, unfortunate, but it was a fun event. Uh, people, it was both. It started early at 12 noon, and the football game didn't come on until 4:25. So it was both and tailgate and the game watch party. So the whole time they had the food and the drinks. It was so much fun. Uh, my only disappointment was it's a Dallas Sox game, and the Eagles fans there wasn't that loud and crazy. I like crazy people because I'm crazy. I like crazy people. That's why I like to go to the tailgate parties. People out there drinking and eating and doing the Eagles chant and doing shots. But this place, it's a little bit quiet. and the DJ couldn't even get the crowd going, shouting, "Dallas sucks." So it was a little bit disappointing because of a quiet crowd, but I still had good time. Eat all the chicken wings and the free drinks, and then watch the Dallas sucks game. And once again, the Philadelphia Eagles won 34-6. So the Dallas sucks. Dallas
sucks! CFL. Them boys got absolutely fucked by the Eagles. Holy shit! Seeing Jerry Jones' empty box suite midway through the game hit different. I didn't know that's what was missing from my life in order to be happy. The Eagles did America a favor and finished burying the sorry-ass clown boys for good this season. And they looked soft as fuck, getting ran all over the whole game. It also hit different considering the annoying here, we go cadence applied to all QBs. So it felt like we were watching Dakota shit the bed again, even though he wasn't there. Dallas citizens are on the edge of losing it with that dog shit point differential they carry at home. It seems like every game is a blowout loss in the Big D. 146 yards of offense is bad for a Pewee team, and them boys managed to pull it off. Nothing more humiliating than the Eagles pulling off the Kenny Pickett ass blast on you to keep a drive alive. The Cowboys are absolutely broken all over, and I'm all for it. Them clown boys are so lost. America wins. Start learning Canadian Jerry Jones. Ship your team to the CFL. Them boys got absolutely fucked by the Eagles. Holy shit.
And now for the upcoming events. So every Monday is the Brandon Graham Show, and followed by the Players Lounge that they feature. The past 2 weeks they have brought Eagles player Jordan Mailata there. So every week the Players Lounge features a current Eagle player, and this one takes place at Chicky and Pete's in South Philly on Pecker Avenue. And then also Monday night at Chicky and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. It's the All-Pro Philly Show. This show also features a current Eagle player with Gerald Carlton, the host, and Eagles insider Dave Spadaro. And WBCB Radio has the Monday Night Kickoff Show every Monday night. And this show will feature either an alumni or a current Eagles player. And WBCB also has the Pro Football Report Show. That's every Tuesday night at different Chicky and Pete's. And this show is hosted by the voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merle Reese. And this show often features a current Eagle player. Sometimes they will bring the alumni players such as Seth Joyner and people like that, Mike Mamula, people like that out there. So another great radio show. The Bud Light Thursday night kickoff. It's always 7 p.m. and always giving away Eagles tickets. You can look out for this event on the 93.3 WMMR's website under events. It's a Bud Light Thursday night event, and they play a game that you have to get a key to. You have to win the key to unlock the lockbox, and there's a pair of Eagles upcoming home game tickets inside. It's fun. I went to one of them. I went to I believe the first one. It is fun, so you might want to go do that. And then Bud Light Eagles pep rally, the Friday night pep rally for each one of the Eagles home game. So there is a schedule on the screen you can see for the upcoming Bud Light Eagles Friday night pep rally. And also, for each one of the away game, there's the Miller Lite away game watch party. And then they bring out Swoop, Eagles cheerleaders, and alumni player out there signing autographs and meet the fans while you're watching the game. It is a lot of fun. I try to go to those, but sometimes it's just too far away from Philadelphia area, almost into the Pittsburgh Steelers territory, which I have no understanding of it. But Miller Lite trying to sell beer, what do I know, right? And the Sixers, the NBA is in the basketball season now, and the Sixers Bart Network game watch party is starting again. Uh, it's taking place at the different bars, and I always look forward to the Sixers Bart Network game watch party because you go out there to watch the Sixers game uh, with the Sixers street team, which is their cheerleaders. They do dances and stuff, and often they will bring out the Sixers drummers, and they always have like Sixers uh, t-shirt toss, just like they do at the basketball arena at the Wells Fargo Center. You know, they would toss the t-shirt and you can catch it, and then they have other Sixers brand merchandise to give away. So it's always fun. And last year and the year before, every time they do this party, they would give, I just remember, they would give away like about 5 or 6 pairs of the Sixers game ticket. So it's great. You know, I'm looking forward to this year's Sixers Bart Network game watch party. And so that's pretty much it. There just wasn't a lot of events that was going on this week. And next week, the Eagles game's on Thursday night. They're playing the Washington Commanders, which is another team that's in the East Division, along with the Eagles and Dallas and the New York Giants. So uh, this game, Eagles against the Washington Commanders, it's a real test for the Eagles players to find out if they're the real deal, because the Eagles has played a lot bad teams, or like the Dallas, you know, they lost their quarterback Dak Prescott. So they were, you know, the Eagles was playing the backup quarterback. So this game will really test out the Philadelphia Eagles. Uh, the Washington Commanders, unlike the past years, they are playing really good this year. So hopefully the Eagles beat the Commanders, but we'll see. It's a tough game, and it's a test for the Philadelphia Eagles. So all I can see right now is, let's go Birds! EAGLES, Eagles!